Hello, I've got a new stamp set to show you today. This turned up in the last couple of days. I've seen lots and lots of projects online for this, and that was it. Then I decided I had to buy it. And it is this stamp set that I'm going to use to make my Christmas cards, which I'm going to show you shortly. But this is the Wishing You Well stamp set. It is what's called a distinctive stamp set. And it is distinctive in the way in which it stamps. It's almost like it's got when you stamp on it, it's got a dark part and it's got a light part. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But it's quite versatile, this. I'm going to use it for Christmas. We've got a season's greetings sentiment on there, and we've got a wreath and we've got a bow. But we've also got this lovely bouquet here, a bouquet of, these are just leaves. But we can put these on with some flowers. And then we have some other sentiments here. We've got just a note. So if you wanted to send something to somebody, but it wasn't any particular theme, then you could use that. Wishing you well, quite a generic sentiment there that can be used for just about anything. And also sending you our thoughts and prayers. So if somebody's going through a particularly hard time and you just want to send them a card to show them that you're thinking of them, then that's a very nice sentiment for that. Not over the top, but just something to say that you're thinking about somebody. So what I made with these is 3 different projects, although I could have done more, but I've kept them nice and simple. If you've never stamped before, or you may have tried it a couple of times, maybe at a card class or something, and if you wanted to have a go at this, what you're looking at is a stamp set, a block, and 2 inks. I've just bought myself some cardstock, and I buy my cards pre-scored so I can fold them and I know that they're accurate. And they also come with envelopes. I prefer to do that rather than making my own envelopes. But you can buy notelets that come with envelopes as well. But that's what I choose to do. So I use the bow stamp, and I created this little card here, which is saying just a note. Just if you want to send somebody a card for whatever reason you think, if you just want to tell them something, it could be a thank you, it could be a thinking of you, it could be good luck, it could be anything, absolutely anything. And so I used this colour here, Old Olive, with the green and red, real red, that goes with that just then stands out on that card. Simple stamping. Then I made this, and I'm going to make this in a second to show you just how easy it is to stamp. So this is the leaves with some flowers and then a bow on that, and then there's a small sentiment on the bottom there just saying sending you our thoughts and prayers. And this is what I'm going to use for my Christmas cards, because I just love this. It's really, really simple, but really pretty, I think. So we've got the wreath, which is made of what I think are mistletoe leaves. So we've got a wreath, and then we've also got some, I just used one of the flowers on the stamp that I'll show you shortly, stamped them in ink, and then just dotted them around that wreath. And then I stamped onto a separate piece of card the bow, and then I fussy cut it. I just cut all the way around it, and then stuck it on there with some dimensionals. And then I just love the font on this. I just think it's really, really pretty and really seasonal as well. I don't think you can get a seasonal font, but I don't know why. I just think that looks Christmassy. That sounds weird, doesn't it? But I think it does. So they are likely to be my Christmas cards this year. It's going to be a lot of fussy cutting, and I'll probably be cursing that by about card number 5. So let me show you how to make that and show you how easy it is to stamp. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a card, which I've left over here. Get those out of the way. There's my card, pre-scored. And then I'm just going to fold that in a second. So I want it that way. I want it portrait. I've got a different setup for my filming today because I'm at a different table and the camera is further away, so I'm having to lean over. And I've already filmed this video once and it just went really wrong. So this is take 2. So I'm going to get my Old Olive, lovely colour this. It's not too green, it's quite a classic antique green. Not so in your face as some of the other greens. And then I'm going to get, these are the stamps. These are rubber stamps, clear mount stamps. They stamp beautifully, you'll see. So I'm going to get the little bouquet of leaves, press that onto my block, get my ink, and then I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Don't need to press too hard, because the ink just goes everywhere, but just enough so that the stamp has got a covering of ink. And then I'm going to position that. Make sure I've got it central and straight. Push down. Need a little bit of confidence there just to push that down. Press it down. And there we have it. This is why they're called distinctive stamps. We have some light leaves, so it shows it perhaps in the background, and we've got some darker green there, it shows it more in the foreground. It just makes it look more 3D than a very two-dimensional image. Right, I'm just going to clean off that stamp quickly before I put the next one on. And the other thing I'm going to do is close that up before I put my fingers in it, which is what normally happens. So now I'm going to use my real red ink, and I'm going to use this stamp. So these are the little flowers. I'm going to put that on my block, and I'm going to decide first where I want them to go. So I want the flowers to kind of spread outwards. So it's going to, oops, it's going to go there. So I'm going to put that on my stamp like that, and then I'm going to ink it up first. So just lightly tap. Really don't need to press hard with this, just literally tapping it very, very lightly on there. So I've just got a layer of ink on there, and just decide where you're going to put it, line it up, and I'm going to go there. And there we've got our flowers that are now sitting on our leaves like that. Just clean that off so I can put it back in the box, and then I need to put the bow on there. So there's the bow stamp, and I'm just going to put that on my block. And where I want the bow to go, I think when I did this, I think it sat too low. I think it needs to be a little bit further up. So I'm going to ink up the bow. Which is not inked up properly. Let's try that again. Yep, that'll do it. So this is where the knot of the bow is going to be there. So I just want that to be higher up than the one that I did earlier. Line it up. Much better than the last one. So happy with that. And then finally, I want to put my sentiment on there. Now that sentiment I did in green, and I think I'll do that the same. And this time I'm going to be using the wishing you well. Oh, I can't see that. Wishing you well sentiment. Just need to find. I'll put that on my block. I would normally use a smaller block, but I've put them away. My red ink away, get the green out, and I'm just going to ink that up. Have another go at that. I think it's all right, but I just wanted to check. Line it up where you want it to go. and that just stamps beautifully. And there you have, well, you can see it, a really simple card. That's 2 colours, 1 piece of card and 1 stamp set, and that is such a versatile stamp set. You can use it for so many things. Doesn't just have to be Christmas, doesn't just have to be saying someone sorry you're having a tough time. That can be for anything. And that's what I like about that. You're going to get a lot of use out of it. And if you are new to stamping, you don't have to buy many products. You don't need to be spending lots and lots of money on that. So I'm going to get cracking with my Christmas cards. Let's see how many I get done and how quickly it is before I'm swearing at fussy cutting all of those bows. I might have to find another way of doing it. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. In the description bar below is a link to the blog, where if you are looking to purchase some of these products, there is a direct link to my shop together with a hostess code that you can quote, so that you could be in line for some stamping rewards. And there's also details on the blog and how you can contact me if you want any more details. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.